Well, the Asaba 20 common so and say, and a shunko cratches a minimum yakwasi, she had the no say a humiliation contina, ye a bro and the L. Badwam Mpensenpensemu bre. My main cow say, and 29/1/24. Right after NPP Patriotic Party primaries, no, and yaseshia ewahansi. So you may make out say St. Andrew's College of Health, as infosunewo, and one other and a sankomwe de brought so person entity 2-year healthcare certificate program. I want to say do it now. If you want to also now wako pursue BSc in public health nursing. It is St. Andrew's College of Health. The master system of the Sakwenary Abeto Diamai 0546. 212-637 and 0242-863-658. Sounds when you had Kel Branson, so I say one day Kel 360 toothpaste, Kel Kids toothpaste, Kel Chaco toothpaste. A body tree and a JBD near KC near your day, bro. A airport is from Kokra, so all the pulse here, a money if it na Pamon Kabia Fio, na mana Hodin so from Kokra. For one was 0593-80-9227. And 0246865798. No team no one adding it on. The crack here, Kingdom Herbal, one the Kingdom Garlic Bitters, Kingdom Garlic Capsules, New Kingdom Ginseng Power Capsules, remember Drusunko, and have tremendous capsules, as well as Kingdom Home Estate. And so one Adan Cranibi or a year a brie, one bear a brie girls, and have a Latin, so one bear Latter Junction. And then be a or part of the mother dance so can say nay. Se ukuta ohamunchemu aduonum ana adioso edaneka no ye de fam ho na fi mfimi no eda anim no watete ne kakra interest bia ana nsimu bia eno frɛ one wo 0536149961 030-393-9987 na watimi ne won edinkita minim ya kwasinsia na 20 minutes after 8 9 pepe so ye be kɔ na di mula game no so abro but the commodity dona ebejina the new Patriotic Party one about to on another and other matters are eba up because akwaba kase share quickly yankona any Ghana's information minister member of parliament for Fuasi IAB yeah education come over Zoom so when ni san come no we can afia back na yeah
yankona ne honorable Kojo Oponkroma enkwotwe mama say na member abatwa ekosi Ofuansi IAB about on Banawe na Kojo Oponkroma ekuta manim 378 against his closest rival. He only 100 or 92. Before that, if he said a form a so what was the magic? Yeah, about 10 deputy ministers and deputy ministers at the Tia na Kojo Oponkroma era so ejina Abraham. Na botie kai mo acha na pai e ba Badwam so. Ona Kojo Oponkroma.
Agwasi utimenka.
Betoka. Boko de.
Boko maminchia na minchia unu yakwabana ne unu ya no me studio na minchia wahwefo nyinara titru mpanimfo ahwe me wo Fuansi IAB peso am so.
Yera so age bread between komo ena no pay. About 7 deputy ministers ati ahwe about 3 enso da form Kojo Oponkroma ejina brane. Magic ni de.
Wanya magic bia mene delegates di nkomo me da na nwumre no mo ka kire me se niema be mienu titiru ntina omo eto aba no boom sa ma me di kan om se senia me no omo ntem ete the relationship between myself and omo as polling station executives and coordinators na ya so many ma pinto from kra yete it to be 200 more, and they value the relationship very much. Now, person trust our relationship also. Number 2, and say, Juma May as member of parliament, na yadia omaniso, na yadia person because why to say a whole bar we quite baby no pair. Yeah, first na yeni kutan and then to say kute try in Russia. Yeah, first na yeni doctor no, and then your doctors me and some I as see polyclinic your district. Yeah, first na unya suku ho kwan ebe odin se obekono and there was scholarship fund that yankwala more than 450 and I am our tertiary institutions and so na yen California dia ye hiamwa and nyamwa ahodoa ye de edi ejuma our district Enti the omo ka kyerɛ me no me so me da omo ase sɛ omo ama me akwanya sɛ me nkɔmanim for the third term as the representative of the Ofuasari constituency.
Going into the contest, na esrobi ewom ohwe closest rival onya 100 votes out of the about 400 to 500 votes motimi eto Ofuase ayirebi wo kona ehu bi ewo ekire
na ba kokora ni mu ayehu me obi a me family Christosom very seriously Onyankopon me so no asemo ade bia one ne ma kasa fiase ka ne se ensuro enti suro any hu de wo de adwuma sebe wonya be ma otumi ko wani enti suro de ne bini but secondly so no senia me kan adwuma na yaye ene nkita hu dia na ene delegates edino na ya warish mo se yebiwie no anya rekra be 350 de ibenya of course democracy de wo kwa wonya na 100% ntini enim se anya rekra be 350 de ibenya ya mencha de yenya 378 kra ema no eproso ti asedani nshira no de ye de manyame.
Now the bigger tax ahead December 7th 2024 vote of margin in 2020 against 2016 at about 2024 who is saying
so far consistently no your vote no mupeja since I'm a MP na nema ba ku mi no atoto sia ma na your vote no so 18 ya atoto ya nema yi until 2016 to 2020 your vote mupeja by 6,000 yeah here name say 2020 to 2024 betumi san peja a vote mobile an extra give or take another baby 7 or 8,000 because you hear vote no do you hear boom first of all at the NPP abaya waya kwan NPP abaya wabua MP upon kromama na ye adwuma wo ye person so you hear vote boom they adanase but also no so you hear vote boom at the pia your flag bearer Alhaji Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia amanaba be the next president of the republic enti already no now you mapped out strategies are you be pre-vote ni bi boom efi ekure biase efi bm busia bm wasori bm ya fa ne se kwasafo djuma na ye and there you be making sure say vote be peja na etumi support the national cause na e pese ya achieve.
And I can say 28 of colleagues a bill to more parliament a BB a no mukra na ekoye e bi be ministers e be deputy ministers omo mamra she dwa fiem won mo biem en ha party no e wo parliament
afanu e fa ba ko no e be ha party no parliament it's say parliament adwuma no eno a woni mra ne nhihye so we a doctor or we economist or we a lawyer or uba parliament adwuma nankasa woni nhihye ya wo se utumi sua te ase na usua na wote ase a eno ne be ma kwan mo aye parliament adwuma na wo de unim dia wo fa ne se doctor adwuma mu ana se lawyer adwuma mu na wo de aba usually take be one term and sana we sua sa ne ma we na te ase standing orders kakra fa ne se intricacies kakra ya wo de prepuntu the Eba constituency lobbying skills kakra ne ade nti by our second term no na afi na adwuma no na unya kwan ko third term fourth term say we to me upon G if you lose by fa say 19 senior MPs or more cast or mpobi and 28 MPs or more to me when your primary sir that brings us to about fa say 46 45 experienced members of parliament ye lose work and no ebewon so on your side on the 9th parliament but on the other side no so no ye ni anomo a ewini a eba no almost the fresh blood be and in dear foforo bi eba be share yes your side there I was here and say very quickly no you're focusing on mentorship and training of new parliamentary candidates now omube ebeba parliament na a moment to me parliament in shishe parliament acquire faso ye juma then tina omnim dia omo de ebe kan no freshness a ombe be kan no and also to me ababa ye juma yes I was any part would be but oba first time what pillar be echi Mr. Speaker kure no to kwan ben ye betumi afa so ebeboa no na ono so hu parliament adwuma no na afọ de nidim de na baba ye adwuma nti ebetumi ahae but ye tutu ye nema yi a ebeboa ye.
Well, Member of Parliament, first I congratulate you on your second time entering August House Parliament. But two questions quickly now. What were you must do? The Edikai Pano ye Adia Bribia Dam say one Casao can was but a quiet first no quite worrying. So your additional responsibility as Minister of Information, this is from Ghana Journalists Association, Northern, Northeast and Savannah regions, about a CTFM reporter, Yaburono, Enyane Kwanso. Sadly, I'll give it to you. On countless occasions, you've had cause to be very worried and then to cause for the needed action to be taken. But Oshe said the nomasi kono dia. I had to say the election year be that graph of central for your buruye and kwaso and tiasidim no kwana ekosro. So what do you suggest can be done at this critical moment your election year because I am quite worrying. Say asema central ni di obeya ne say oko kan de won say nokure say yen kontompu no de ama mansati but we end up being beaten mercilessly in situations intimi and control. It's very worrying. So what at this point can we do?
First, we news to me. I'm saying not any abre election many always saying, but we'll take the necessary steps on it. Usually the IAN is quickly the police force. Now you encourage media house no any pakon so on your reporting my police. At the end of last year, under the IFN with the coordinated mechanism of the safety of journalists, the boss central forum by. The accountability forum, Chief Justice, Judge Benima by IGP, Police CID boss man by any GJ, Nick Gibba, Nick Primpag, and Penfonia by any assistant cases are 2023. Now, Yaswati, Yankasi, DHD Command Police Force, the police will move on contact. I did police for Yamoma Tiasi and say, Sasembana, Samoa, and Yankee. Naman Boni Pakron, Kwe Dua Efata. And may explain the preferable charges. Now, some man for an engineer court and in my court swan Naswa will be baby because on him so I consider and only the real issue. Now, police former associate say, and NPP also no journalists be high the answer ya can't ever news more. But say journalists no any employers on Beko police station acquire report at the evidence account on a police for to be investigating at to see more. I know idea back why you know central for also a one year is here. Me and can travel radio so and TV so. Me encourage media house and say, file a report to police. Now, and make the evidence available. No more copy.
But the challenge here, which I'm beginning to side with the Journalists Association president in the person of Yera John for last Friday on Ekusi say, many didn't komono. Assemble call Rizie. It was about blacklisting. Yamame have a kumsin on an allegation. A church ordinance, the team needed in Sakika, a central region, a central Nibi. Now, his continuous worry, which I share, is that Impendu na asasem no koda posi for asrepe na unhu de be wetre wasam na etwatwa na yamfa nhihye bia ngu ho a ema ehu bobi ebam se wontimi mfa wonsan kasa joni nti we are accepted say is a norm nti ya be say ya na erezia ba na eko
there is no other way in a democratic country I will be same way without making a report to the police, providing evidence and ensuring Seni Pakrono you be prosecuting. Me as Minister for Information, Masuye, I already said, so koye report, now the evidence tache, now my copy. You be DHL making sure Seni Pakrono you prosecuting. Secondly, the other problem is that to be a police prosecutors, so charges are on the court F for the I will be studio Akwakobuno, was what charging with breach of peace in the unlawful entry. That's in the who charging with assault. Who charging with the maximum crimes possible. One ma court no akwenya se court no be twenaso. In fact, Chief Justice Rep Oba program Libya some kind say to the be a charge a omode ma safui both are charging issue. Into kwamna ubisa me question suggestions me answer. First suggestion is say media house upono moma reported to police yemfa evidence in title nyese aka no radio so TV so na ma copy as Minister of Information make your konkoma ye be DHL me centroni and nona me de hwe me mouse who tama me wo me de see me da nti central for adwuma ya de was ye boho by nti ye report no for evidence type na my copy be to one number 2 say police for no charges or more prefer no crowd or form one ye pese ye hunu yesu to me ka bi say sa charge we enye no ne beso say we say troko attorney general or say on fa na no to me prefer the right charge sir ye be push for that e ye no pen e be make sure say court no be to me atwi ni pa corner so say court so far they say court a dealing for assaulting journalists obi any ho baby but say anya sa na ma me no we say either say you investigating prosecuting and now a prosecutor ko na charge ni issue enya there severe sanctions are here no ebeba na nkofo so ensuru say omobe sa de no. These are the two things I would say.
Well, the expectation in this case, my expectation is that once you are a journalist, you continue to be a journalist, your ministry and your good self will help us in the advocacy, especially as we count down to the December elections, because most of the time we are the victims, and it's very, very worrying. Emma, who feel the cry, acquire the necessary report. Also, minya kwasisia na no da no jina ayedome Kwabinya police station, and also Yenipa Bako so no ya children near transfer and come transfer and come baby. I don't know whether they don't understand what we as journalists seek to achieve in exercising our duties and responsibilities. It's very worrying.
Part of the Juma was here a training of particularly the security agencies, and then we can Juma who IGP Minya Penny Dampare or Wapa ma a bit more training. But so I only Ghana police near the 3 year and you'll be a Juma not training no and we hear but that cannot take away the fact say I was here reporting you're prosecuting you're punishing. If we do that, it will be trapped. Maybe I will remain a number 1 advocate for the safety of journalists. But I will say you bore with the evidence so that you be to me hold even the police accountable say as we say yeah the brain on this date evidence a tie training and then I'm found. In the instances where, to say last year, the year for me, police by can say cases are moved by winning your prosecutor punishing. We moved there, that Minister Ona will catch a Afina Mecrampona Bay as if Mamma because Sabi Meso Martin on radio. Yes, you should be a friend of minimalist standard. You're very important to police or money review. But Oka say the account now we not be provided evidence. Police report now. The punishment of the perpetrators, Mr. Identity, you also advocate.
Well,
reporting the prosecution. No,
well, Minister, another worrying trend is what we are experiencing now as a country, and this one is both political parties and us as citizens. What do we do? Because now, number 1, major concern is the caliber of people entering our August house. Caliber of people. 2, which is more dangerous, and that is the reality on the ground now, that any riffraff, for lack of a better word, any crook, anybody, what you need now to enter our August house is money. And that's it. You're a member of parliament. As a member of parliament elected, they say, dear Mpana, uno colleagues, one party, only Ghana for one central for only Yenya Kwenye Din Common. Would you say, where have we come from? How did we get here? And it's been entertained to the highest peak. Because some of the figures in out to say, yeah, they mad delegates. You are asking yourself, how is that possible? What do we do?
Constitution no Emma the general qualification of Obi with me running for member of parliament. And fear also the baby out to a bar of sound mind. And only the general minimum qualification, constitution, no Emma. And to that extent, no better say until be meets our criteria. I was say your man of Quina Utumiko. But parties no wasudi. Ufa NPP and this year, ye wasudi. Asudi any back when say yes, so say a penny intino. You be institute internal mechanism a best sonny any. No because of a so-called parliament, I sonny any can say, so say now, but so meet yes, your criteria way and son of my name were to me a contestable. First, and we are making him say a controversial about my maker. First, Oba MPP, you were Dois Sykes money, that Rocha money are there. On IBC from say we man contested because we meted this criteria. Over the years, democracy no nsa kwa kodum pempensu bia literally obi obeka obe contest bia no the amount of crimes on contested. In fact, there are instances in which if will be record near they are palpable on the face. No, there are questions to be answered. Babu said, "Pennyfosu, we empese gidi ana kasakasa biya beba in me peace into your movie uncontested." The afio mo biya contested na sesani pakrono. Onkofobi tanechi ya yakopesi kapudu biya mana. Bon say, enka bi obi wo hwa anko no owini ya enka ono ne bobre ne ade no ebesom party no ebesom ye democracy ebesom parliament ni ye ebi assess cannot me mobilize bi no no academ na enka nipa ye de mrani ye adwuma pa fine kasa beba kakra but enka ono ntumi nkobi no na fi ono aba be esen konti e was parties no after 2024 election we say parties now say there some major reforms in some of your internal mechanisms. And yes, I a democracy in over a period, a for the highest bidder. And was said parties near bold a year internal reforms. I making sure say number one, discipline within the parties I upheld. Number two, rules I was here the Juma about when a qualifies obeys, when a qualifies obeys. Number three, ubi koya de ayenhwe nanim ni akaso we bi o say ntie nka ne de asem na we de sabi oni godfather bia na say bibi to no e betwena so ana bibi esa na che say ya ye ni godfather ni kika oni ade ye na e wo de wo be bresa our system ntie I was a parties ni bold moving forward to apply the rules.
Member of Parliament for Fuasari and then Minister of Information me no kwanesa ba oh, dear, oh, mamma, a share and as a physical money also on fan follow way.
Media no beside me delegates on Beccajo said the interim to mammy. You know, Bako a me relationship with them.
Oh, Minister, Minister, much question, but Jesse, Moji Pina and Casano, Moji Pina, no be friend, catch him say. Overflow to some of the regulations. What shall I say? The bars acquisition granny biasi.
Question no. Omuche mu say number one, my relationship with them. And number two, a juma me no omu aye.
Okay.
Over the period. And no no share.
So, but just to let us know, maybe omo transportation and how the buses rather than the call form by because of proximity.
Bus party Mra was clear. Said no busing. Omo form bus.
Okay. Once a journalist, always a journalist.
Eastern Region, the Eastern Regional Minister, Honorable Kwame Champion, so call for New Gabon. Now, unfortunate, Uncle Yam. Honorable Take my channel pay a baby Jamso. Bokon answer.
Yes, so Adom.
183 against 253. Votes are now sharing Monana say a change myself, baby.
Debbie. Mama watch it. Na the meeting I can say the Yamape Ena Oye. The Jiddy say yin na ye born to her. The Gavin Fufum etisi NPP ma Jiddy say Masem to Makumaso. Na eto mutim dodono onona omu etinachi ema yina no ye no NPP etin kunim ewo Gavin Fufum e yetrin kwana mede bema me kuma na o sei edi waya de abonto apa wanfa edwuma na nya kwacho nti be man trin kwa bigide se osefata ni pa yina ye wo minto abom de bia na meka ye ni pa nu ye nyina ye sefata bigide se omanfo no na asem de kom na so no etoma kuma so na tomu trin sanam bigide se ye no.
Okay.
Well, Minister, I think that prior to more elections in the Eastern region, there are a lot of issues about, say, especially your bid to come back. You know, some of the reports I gathered was that one Kasau colleagues, maybe for better reasons, you may hold on. They were really fighting against your comeback. What it is, Uncle Bonibi, and why would they do so?
Usan community, I'm trying to say any Pamwadi, any pay mini and William Sena, Elias, Ababo Moon Samutia. I did hear say, Nipa, Ubidino Cramon. Na, what the artisan, each one among the Bria, Aqua Boni, ade hia a wose nyina yehunu ne se amanyuku ayesom osun kokoko amanyuku ayesom yese yepese bi ebinsi o man muda a etrese obia ni wa watimi atena ban mu amanfie nwotwe apan ho ayen sesan no ne bi esie no so se yeyi yewura okuni ni Alhaji Mahmoud ba obiye nyina ebepe ye mrashi biga wa obisi na mu mpeshia aha no edioson mu nyame pe bi edioson sia no ye minim ne se awose ye yero ni edwade ti nyina no se no kro nyame nim ni bebi am gina me hu firi mu enye sanse mi ro ti do nya so na dan ko kufuado o ye mi Adom a nyame emanu piano besi manta mi muse me yo so afo yetri no biguso ameso mo hase ma sede se me hwese e bekoso awon kambom na ya toa so aye nyuma pa e ba ye de ebu akonu ama manfo soso hu se ye kan ye de osie yoyo kona atesem de wa ohwen central dwuma ya moye wodu obi be kan asem sei we be hia obi be hia no sei we be kire mu sei te wonni hwehun a odebetena form Mpensenpensemu anhia na wakwako kan de yenka.
But here is a former member of parliament from Praiso, now the regional minister, echo to the next place or within his region, because within his jurisdiction, and the belief is that Osha said there was a bra, Osha said there was a tutu anamo, Osha said the Odim Puntu any Kanko Abba the regional. Clearly, it was very clear on the walls to say no contest for Obitise Ira Setechampo Wasakoye, the minister over the region. So is it not a border? Because it's like, you know, Tidemi Yinano, Moniso and Amuana.
Corona America, we are not saying Nipa Madi. And you know, say the Overka say, oh, here, work at Odimujasho, Marco Canton was here. We fight them a couple of Fokito.
Yeah.
It was a super reflection of our attitude as a people, as a group. No, he said, if you boom compo, Nayashe, young Kasa, ya bravo soon, and we and me, Tabaya won't say about 1 year tree. I don't say of no day. A month for Shadia, and the abbreviation man for any day. Abrabo ben abushan kui womu enam so omu bo won se yina ye Ghana for ma enti Ghana for ye din Ghana for ne bi Ghana for ni nti o se ye bi bi dance so me ka se Ghana for we no mo de womu na ye pese ye ye nwure hye wo mu na wo bi die nganim eno ne sa abrabo na me pese ye bo no se be ka se ye nipa ho ade no enye Tebio sons be nyad NPP munko ena sa suban yi biwo nanso wan hwie na yekoto onoko a ye ma ye de no kobroso na ne be sese ye ne na mwapa so ye ne wa ban mu enti ya na ye anamo ene ekwan a ye nam so etutu ye niama Ghana fo enyam gidi a ebe ha ye enu nti na ye nyina no ye de no kuradie any akuma pa esum osumpa was yesum edema on mine konenim.
All right.
But sorry.
Yeah.
Question will be sir minister here na obidi home message aba. Akwasinsia, good morning. Please tell my good friend Omahine Kwabena Sante that I know he knows the question he wants to ask the minister. I know he knows the name behind the question he wants to ask the minister. But please, ask the Honorable Eastern Regional Minister, why was he and others fighting against Michael Ochrebefi?
Now, when he answers that question,
will be questions to them.
Minister, I'm sure, sir, when the part of them said, Nipa, what you money here? Nipa, what you money here? Into me, next question, and come maybe say, Ebiana. the trend now any acceptable me can be acceptable what can be acceptable and other people of interest can be acceptable. That is the money trend, the money crazy trend now. But maybe you couldn't pay up to a certain expectation as a minister, so it's not necessarily about a messenger uncle yiba usika seminar or bottle tintem and maybe a amount of them. You agree to that?
Oh, Kobna, Mr. When it finishes, you meet me, I can say. Media. The Judicial Media, the which me I say, opening out here, Jumanase. The V, a dead face, you do not come in a home of the quiet. But all the Penica Casabisa of fear above from Vienna. Above from Vienna. And the SCM, a CV, a share the Aka which the quiet first one. You bet me assessor and na yedi in Kabum, where Mammy Cancer, you know, some account budget now. So, Fia Sasiana, Mura, your son, no, my moi, Linty, baby, amity, many baby, and Mesomaya, Ghana, Mampeni, and another don't go with what or to Venice, or to Safri, Mantam, Aswafuna, no near born, groom, 3%. When you say baby, you drone, you don't want a Jumayo, and a Toda, Yana, Eddie. Now, she is in a name, it's on a ja. Oye o my eja afutu odi be my ni se ye besi bia wo yakwan mu bia ye mfi ye nto no na ye hwe kwan a ye be fa so a ye din kabum e be ba buhia ni mu isan se mentimi ho ase de ye ni mu a ye baba ye no me de twam ye e de mentimi ho ase be priva nanso ye tumi edane abatan na e se me company ka se obako na jana go stress wa chanchene yinna NPP ma me bonto akwada masama na dama no do be kan okuru be ka tete me bia me gra me se adwuma me pese de be som de be fufuru mu foi enye owu ne nkwa e ya dwintia mu na ama me ho kwan na mamre na ma kwan abeda ho se me soso bitumi eyobi na edum na wie ye no eye amanyoko NPP ne bedi nkunim ene se do bedi nkunim no NPP ni me na kwa me na bedi nkunim a the NPP ni na menua na oseji edi nkunim onu se NPP ni NPP edi nkunim ye yana se ye nyina ye be kan pom o ye kire no aboso no du ba ko ede ye nimu yi no ye wo mre bibre de be hwe atoto enema bia asi na ya koso ejina ye na so nya ka ye ho abom nya hwe kwana wo se me kan kuro be bia muti kura to da bibitimi si ama wakoma basro eno nkyere se wo ka se wo di ababa ba ko bonya nkoma na ni minua kuma opon kuma edi anope o hwe ni nkomo se na edi kwa enye edi kan ni ebi esipen nipa ho ade na so nye se esipen ndo si gina eye nhwe kan a ye nkan ho asem enti ampa nkuba wapeja baidi ye gidi se media beni wakasa bi aka wo mitiri mo de bi ameka we say anyria empai ebedu de bi no odi sika be mani to obehwe anim obeto abanati awo ye ben ho kono se agure mi si mo akere
yeah
untido shemu amanya no e kire mi se enye sika nko na nipa hwede to aba enye ma mienu miensa bi kan ho nipa hwede to aba na me tidi se me de mani so 183 na menya aye no esan se menya ahoda na nyame madu na menya ne se ne de mani so officer mi wo akoma pa wo me yam se me din kuni mo mu se nsema me de ko ni pe bi kwa jitu mu atobi ama me.
All right, so former member of parliament from Praia, so now Eastern Regional Minister Okotraya, we know Osin any short DSC. We are grateful for your time. Our prayer and they say obetime hold the region together. Number head 2024. We wish you well for the week. Thank you. Thank you so much. Kobono nkranisa enti mula fona e krado se omone ye ebedi nko makacho se wo shebre ansesa no nkuna eye premtobre wo shebre besesa ansesa sabre no so a no nsia wo shebre besesa. It's a special day today and a happy birthday nkoma the Chief Executive Engineers and Planners, Mr. Ibrahim Mahama, and your birthday. Happy birthday, Shunko, Anna Ekwama. Yekwaba, Yeba, the discussion continues. Well, Yasaba, you're trying common so I say, my main cow say, a need Piwak healthcare for so. On us, I saw Kwansung on the 3P garlic mixture, 100% garlic extract, and a free airborne summer or high blood pressure, no immune system, no, and no sugar levels, not for one as I was on TTT, non ITT, Sahaudinano, etimi every hope recopedium, or one hours old Joe, Nian Piwak for draw on the Abano, 3P garlic mixture, airborne, ever Kwansung Kosokra, oh, Kumasia, Danny Herbal, Anafe Colinak, oh, Albert Sam Herbal, oh, Takradia, Amen. Oh, Sunyana Green Light Pharmacy, a hona benyabi at of Piwak Natural Health for Ewasa Ahomesu 0248 928 824 and 020 1000 na what you mean Eddie Kitao. Sounds like make out say one go energy drink because he says that yeah and also energy drink so kwa aba emma ahoden so kokra the one go energy drink e wo edwaso baby a titru wona etu mirika wona ya draft for wona ya artisans yenso ya kan school for obi a ebomodi anakope one go energy drink echira kwa de ba ne dance kwa ne say apart from say wona wo mu formula bi o ma hye ne kama any vitamins bi say B3 any B5 any B6 any B12 ni nyina e de ahyem na ohu bottle no kwa na woni beje a very sporty silver bottle ana wango no ewom ono so eka hu say onuma eye hyehyɛ bia ni obi say we no Food and Drugs Authority for na agisa de no atum na masaka say Kingdom Herbal for to say adankra no o pebi wo abri ana say eye Latte Junction a unya bi ewo honom inti bomodiana fra Kingdom for on 053-614-9961 and 030-393-9987. Ejishani say umpon suya and they would 50 or 70%. Now for 2 years in Simubiano or Mama Sa Quenya now ultimate Yadiakana. Sazona would want to or Kanshi drug lena a year Kingdom Herbals over whom now for a new Kingdom ginseng power capsules, even a new and a Kingdom garlic capsules and a tremendous capsules at Chakwa. Namasaka will say addition for Suntino and a St. Andrew's College of Health, as in for Su, also Gusu Jinipa. One ever born motivated 2-year healthcare certificate program. Enti bomodia se o percent tie na wa pomode won sem ko dia a be wiachi na obaso bode be kwa koye healthcare certificate program there bomodia na ko wia na wachi akwanya dawo obetimi akọ na akoto aso anya BSc public health nursing free St. Andrew's College of Health for our amawezo 0546 212 637 and 0242 863 658 na what me no edin kitawo akwasibe kwa o man so quickly na afi wahwe eye obinfo bi eba se yato abawi na yehwehwe emu se de isikusi ya o enimdie for pa ono so na dwenkyere wo eye internal eye primaries akwasi
me kon makodi kuma em se manya amana Africa County ora Jonathan Asante ochre ebesan aba ahoma so de no aba ba etwe komo man quickly. Happy birthday, confirmer Ophelia Chumasi Ankra, or immigration officer wa Elubo Command. Happy birthday. Enko F. Aria Ortega, or no so, and then the birthday Aria Ortega of Happy Kasapa FM. Happy birthday, and so Enko Enfa Emma. Eti me anko de ni Jonathan Asante, Ochobi, our benim diamanyo semu, and mu H. the Muye. Popority, I can watch it, Mwakwa by the Babby Jam to media so. But I think I bet me on meeting Eddie Kobo. Okay. I come back here.
What on?
Yeah, 28 sitting members of parliament at the Ashe. Before that, said I don't know member that to a course war NPP Parliamentary.
Mamini Kanchia, a chef for Nana Pay. I'm also a fisher part. I think I'm I think it's I'll have to congratulate the MPP so much to me. Successful primaries. Apart from the fact say Enyama went to be see Miamiano and Nesika Sama Adokuru Jumadiana ma nefe and take the shine away from it. it is not easy. Nipa wa de enough for say over elections up to this point enough for by and large, omatimi at the Abanewi they've been successful.
Okay. 28 sitting members of parliament and a folly officer are good for the party going into an election young person will break the 8.
Not at all. I think it's a message when they ascend the establishment. And the fact is BBI in just a fluke. They may have their own individual problems and challenges. Delegate agents so area to abanidi but generally sabibi says here or so who say every baby any funny free when you are an MP a sitting or incumbent MP you are mayoku ewa bemwa the expectancy rate na very high in terms of say bia developmental puntujuma na akofo hwe nim no ya na e wosoro it's said the argument has always been said when you are an opposition MP, it is not easy for you. And then it is a good omen for you. And it tells you that, one, the central government has failed. Once the central government fails, it affects the incumbent MPs. Because promises, central government itself, the center is not holding. And that's the more reason why I affect such a huge number. 19 or more decided so they are even lucky. I think that they are quite smart enough. Most of them are quite smart to decide, say no, they wouldn't want to, contest again. But deputy ministers here and there, and also so no a free na bias. Medical case central government na failure mono. Apart from that, bisa say over 90 MPs amwa bam e call mampeni waka che de say. Mampeni finance minister Yinedi na ne modern bono ebi o man fan so Yinedi na sesem. Mampeni anti. Now where is that pressure coming from? Menjin di say these MPs decided, say, normal corp, say Papa Nedi. It is probably the pressure coming from the constituents. And no more so no a giant tintin say, Penny Nipowe, our say woman resign, and answer or did Nijumadi editor.
Okay.
But nothing of that sort happened. Until most of these a protest vote, of which the leadership of the party also motiasi.
But ora Jonathan Asante ochre to me a generalizing this when some other incumbent members of parliament also to me retain your seat. Ebi so crowd there, I'm for crowd contest your crowd on the post. So can it necessarily be say central government more and I want to affect these 28 no Muluzi and Nkwana?
Well, in the first place, you see a business will say central government has it performed. The central government has not really performed. We all know, sir, we are facing difficult times.
Okay.
We are facing challenges. And there is no way I affect them. Yes, and others went unopposed. But ebiwa unim nia omaye ewe chire until munya konya ko unopposed. It is not because they have done so creditably well. People within the constituency wouldn't want to contest them. At any point in time, somebody will have wished to contest. But some of this, politics behind the scenes. And in as much as the principle, and I say, may not entirely, because there is no principle that is foolproof.
About 19 sitting members of parliament, and it return your seat. Rebecca say, Omunya, the grace of central government, more, it's your return your seat. About 90 of sitting members of parliament and it return your seat. So we 28 na a free muno eto we 19 na almost more enko na 90 and it returning or more a seat out of the 137 current the party no ewo machine your film. Also bet me central government what the monty and I'm what me retain your seat na.
Well, a question, a good question. In a sense, but the other side of it is that I'm not too sure in the Fourth Republic we've seen such a huge number of incumbents getting out of party that is in government. That is the only way I can give that response to that particular question. Nabakosem say, Nipadudu say 19 plus that way, about 47 of them incumbent. Don't forget also say you have orphan constituencies. Yeah. It is out the 47, Eka orphan constituency of 137 one. Now, Dudu say so. What Timu say? Abai ewo adwuma ye pa. Abai ewo adwuma ye. Incumbent ya oman contest omo. I'm say omododo no enshada no so. I think they may be in their 20s or something of that sort. Yan fan say no crampo no some shenanigans might have taken place. Other than that, kwamba so ene bia nkofo enya akonya an contest omo. In the last elections, kwaya nipadodo na am so over 60 something. Unopposed, and that affected them in the parliamentary elections. And as I say, and I'm saying Eswati, so that is good news for the party, no two ways about that. But generally, if I'm to speak to your question now, if I don't know, omo etime retaining omo seat, yes, it's a good omen for the party, but no, there is nowhere NPP entime a certain number of seats in the Ninth Republic. There are some seats that definitely are safe seats, and they are going to retain those seats. Because whatever you do, traditionally, they see themselves as MPP. Okay. But a situation where you have this number, which I've never seen before in the Fourth Republic, deciding not to go and then losing out in the primaries, I think they have a lot more work to do.
Well, my name is on that ending bit, at least I got the privilege of speaking to almost about 8 people out of these revered personalities or move free August House on the ticket of the NPP. Their issues were very simple. In fact, cutting across issues was the kind of parliament, as I say, encouraging, experience. To them, they feel that it was not in the best of taste. Again, Omurezi issues about Omabre, they've been in the system for too long a time, so they should also make way for others to pick up that seat. So these two critical issues, and Omodi Tuja say it's amongst other issues in Omo exiting parliament. You think that it's a matter of us to be worried about it?
Oh, I agree with those two issues, Omurezi, but at the same time, personalities like Nana Komia, Amayatia, CSA, the MPP does not, at the moment, have the goodwill of Ghanaians. And for me, I see that, say, yes, Omache or Parliament, maybe the kind of way or more sure Parliament, they are not getting it, so they want to step aside. But the goodwill of the masses in terms of the MPP, and to say, at this point in time, you should be smart enough to know that politics is about timing. You must get your timing right. If not, you rather make the wrong investment, because it's a kind of investment that they make. Sikadodo will spend, you don't raise that kind of money all by yourself. There are others who will have to support you. Some even go to the banks to get loans. And if the popularity, the general popularity of the party at Demia, yes, you may go and win the primaries, but it is possible you may lose the general elections. So why don't you allow new faces to also come in? They have done arrangement behind the scenes. Some of them, they came to a gentleman agreement, say, the last time I contested, it could easily have lost out in the 2020 elections. But Nupakwana and contesting, so it is this time that gentleman behind the scenes agreement and arrangement, such MPs will have to step aside. A case in point, for example, is Swami. I don't think you're a majority leader if you had contested, because near year before the 2020 elections, in terms of former primaries, it was a hell of time for him before he was able to get the opportunity to win and then to win in the general elections. And until Nipa Sano said he needed to go back to bar out, with his chest broad and open. Until with that, it's a smart move on his part. Obiti said, Atachian say, I didn't expect say he was going to call it a quit. And then Bakwa Joe Wise, I didn't think it was time, but say Oshe or de ne to me and I say back in the command, you were a COP, is it a George something, Mr. Mensah or something of that sort. Now at the end of the day, Ralph Newini in a landslide manner. Does it tell you something? Say, yeah, he was smart enough to know, say, he could possibly lose in the primaries because Nipa Kokota one time near Uminity, Akokotan Pafufrichia, who shed the difference now, very huge. No two ways about that, very huge. Who should be able to say, Tafu Pakono. Also, MP, they hooted at him. If you look at the difference between Onono Diolusi and it is 30. Just 30. Intino Miamiasa, it should tell you that there is that voter apathy there. There is disunity within the party itself for them to have such way. So they need to do a lot of work. If they really want, the NDC will not be able to win that seat. But the possibility is that Ombenya more votes. And that Okikabo Mua, a big creative problem at the NPP. That's how I see it. Into all those areas, for example, incumbent ni wini vote no difference. Nation encouraging. The NPP has a lot of work to do, and even areas a Binman contested the difference between the winner and the loser. And also quite infinitesimal. They also have a lot of work to do. So you could see that generally, the grassroots are not really happy with the leadership of the party.
Well, about that general feeling now, or analyze it to that point, but maybe another two areas are quite worrying. That one, or national character in the way, apart from the caliber of people encourage you to enter August House, which now is dependent almost 85% on the highest bidder in terms of Sikasem. Wow, Sika Nasa Obotomu Duno. The question is, free and you look on carelessly, for lack of a better word, Abedusa Mpensenpensemu, and how best can it be kept? Because Aba was na semnaba until a year can was, but clearly it cuts across the political divide. That certainly continues to be the challenge of the modern day politics practicing, and the danger here. Caught to a certain peak, it's giving chance for sebi. One way abuna nipa bonfobi enya kwanya akowura ye nimu nyamfio na afobon enioma ye hwehwe asembra ne nyina no odwene ho a na ase unti ase no akoye eyi saa kwanya na ye de ma sika be wura mabro adwene ne nti ase so no e won susuaso ne bi ne de wan
Asam Kasepa na Ubisa you. I'm of the view, sir, we need to change the delegate system. Baby, I'm okay, audience, Santino. Enkano, Abrana, Yera Rollins, Ewa Bemu, ye movie from military, they are called democracy. MPP accused then government, sir, Omochiche, Kakone Bentwa, okay. Kako any Bentwo.
It was Kako Bentwa and
Chine.
Yeah.
Any matches.
Yeah.
Any matches.
Yeah.
And they are graduating from these insignificant tokens to flat screens and fridges. So, how is it going to stop? How did we get there? And I think I've set time with that number. If the politicians don't change their habit, it will choke them. But especially when they will find themselves in government, inflate contract prices that you and I will pay. When they do that, Mufa Quenso sponsor Omonyas Aquino Omakwa Bemono. You will give them contract. You will inflate it. Sika Omonde a ball Hunkano. I saw Moti. A quambers no more Faswati. They will do shoddy jobs. And until the TBI acquired 3 months. In 2 good so quiet, 3 months now started 8 to 2. And how did we get there? And you know, the point is that senior Sika adokro ya politics, you know. Fair-minded people will not find themselves there because it has become so dirty and violent. And unfortunately, you know, it is also affecting the number of women are called the August House because we know, say, our women don't like things of that nature. So they want this unya babia or no member be tarniture on betimi edisa edumadi ediamano. But yeah, that is not how they were brought. That's not how they were oriented.
But I don't think you seem to suggest that as citizens, that we don't have a role to play because delegates, then we expect that a constituency. I call it, or I see it as one of the disgraceful aspects of our political career and as human beings. Because it's very worrying. If you listen to some of the figures in Ashanti region, in Eastern region, in the northern part, the figures that were quoted and the gifts that were presented to delegates. The question therefore is that, are we looking at patriotism, love for the country, loyalty in terms of service to your party and to Ghana, your commitment and your forthrightness to, and then your understanding of the positioner, or it is just the order of the day. It's as a moonfee and intino. Yes, Moba, Enzebeja Kakra, Moko 4 years, Banas stay in area, about the same process. No? How then do we move forward? Because as citizens, every 4 years, we are ready for fridge, plasma TV, 20,000, and that's it. No developmental talk.
In fact, all the principles are board does not exist for this delegate. It does not. The latter part now, boy, I don't know exist. That is, they know very well. Say, "Wukwa umfi omo." And this umfi omo de ane umko courses in ombedie dom ompedi ombedie wu ane. But I know more free omo say a way of selling. You have no business asking that person after spending that much on you. Some from Puntijuman Famra now we got an ebubu, a community center, a swapper, or also pity your niece uncle for your niece and Rui, Momoane. How would that person whom you have sold your birthright to have that way? Tima sympathy say obey. He will have to first of all so Batinica or Tinica we are answer. What me take up your need. A son say, be anywhere or who send you sikatia or sikani or person baby yeni. It does not work like that. But it is a cycle, and delegates cannot escapade themselves from this. But I think, sir, to me nankasa ekita nia wadema chense nia wadye. Intinu say politicians at nasi akase. Mini asani niama akoi. Yani politicians. Yani yadi sika koma delegate no maje. We decided says how do we travel. Me proposition and say whatever the amount the party can decide say yaba betwaba. Munina mutu kwa efisa me data. We should have the data, the electronic data of all these delegates. Not to be we nkase na midinim na yeyi midiem we uni ade. We should have the electronic data of all these delegates. Obi will replace accordingly, so it becomes a living organism. Well, now, I was say you calculate administratively. Near the economy, aspirant no amomutia to the party. Into the party no, and the bayi sasikado, and the delegate neka fairly and squarely. Obi a aspirant here betty so what be before front who disqualify that person.
Yera Jonathan Asante Ochre, senior lecturer UCC. But your input on this matter very, very healthy and helpful for us. On this matter of Central for election year, no, it's like it has become a norm. So I see a buruyen prepare found this so all because we want to report as accurate as it needs to be. Now they be done. And also, you're unconcerned. And then one of the tools you create GGA the blacklisting tool because their belief is that I could do a post if one who we pay na dukadaya she met me na akoda but a sibribia that titru ne pemponsoni ye afia ye roma ya bato obreno ye buye ne paye chi ne paye tri ne tutu yesi ne ye camera S88 so but the expectation of the masses inclusive our political party sympathizers and the politicians is that we should be fair, bold, objective in reporting matters. It doesn't matter baby is any part or yeah. How do you help us and give us an input or a direction to get out of this situation?
Journalists generally are poor. Mo condition and yet I don't think say CNN reporter Eba Baby Bisa other NPP or NDC will have the audacity some Baby Bisa. They will not because the impact, the negative impact so enormous omuntimi embe. I agree with the GJA, the style that they are going, blacklisting or blacking them out. And any journalist will take the decision to go and cover any or more program will also be blacklisted one way or the other. That is the only way out the power will come. But I also think be a journalist need be payola those things because conditioning also no muntimi and this adjumana you are the fourth realm of the estate muntimi and this adjuman. But I think the blacklisting and blacking them out is the way to go. And naming and shaming it shouldn't just be a 9-day wonder. I idea was various platforms because if you don't drive that thing home to the years of politicians they will always be doing that. Apart from that security for police for near the I am not too enthusiastic to ask to think and say more politicians are buying. And some of these things more go to the next level. A politician and sa and here may yet be ama to say bia a binum demonstration there. We share the way approach for high-handedness or more handle or more. It is at least more to be desired. Meanwhile, no politician be small say they should show that a force, against these demonstrators. So I think naming and shaming, calling them out, blacklisting them, and also ensuring you resource the journalist so that they don't go out there, pass behind you, even when you have sanctioned them, so that they will just go and be covering some of these programs.
Jonathan Asanteoche, we are grateful for your time on analyzing the aftermath of the internal primaries and the bigger one, the election 2024. We thank you so much for your time. And one of the reasons why now you're very hopeful was that it was time to pay for service and loyalty. But I don't know what really a core a yes about to but only the ambassador, commissioner to South Africa, 198148 or so. 198148. In fact, the incumbent was 11 something. So if you check her, I just say, well, maybe something really last minute.
Frank, good morning. Frank Breku, good morning.
Good morning.
Boko dear. We are shocked.
First of all, Madam Ase, Kwabrani Munina, Madam Ase, need the opportunity once again. For me, I was extremely shocked about the outcome of this election because official results are critical. Obi said, "Me mini MP that, mini deputy minister that, mini ambassador that." But I think that excessive monetization. Any normal course, what I tell you, I'm the man for the masses.
Excessive monetization, Frank. So kakra when the kakra kind of is not every month we are not partner 2,000 Ghana cedis to support constituency activities. When a year excessive monetization.
I'm make a choice. The official results in the whole year. Mecha MP no. So, certain MP no, some BT no. Ambassador no by equation no. Ambassador, like I have maintained, people at the base no. Omunima ambassador no. It is the constituency chairman And the ambassador no find by equation no more. So we make sure so Wabana win it. And he did everything humanly possible so Wabana win it. So if I say excessive monetization, I tell you the way the delegate system in the way normal corner there. For some of us, we are extremely worried.
How much did you pay? And I say no be a chair when Tima also say ambassador Elbetimi Chaho.
It is not for me to disclose how much TNT I give to my people. But the point I'm making is that your reporters were here.
Okay.
And I'm telling you, say, vote na me no.
Yeah.
Compared to vote ambassador no. Me see me bemu. Me need deputy minister every day. Me need ambassador no that. But to show me vote now. We analysis now. You know, we never catch us the normal court. It's in your course no. Timamufo never for no. Almost na say you shall say ya net to there. I tell you, obi any future e party mu because I sweat some eje duma na last hour. Obi afri baby ba no sabi ni nsem odua onu mu ne de ne beko.
Penia wo ka minim wo be your official petition be to the party na omo nko betimi afa so de sa adu because enyo nko na wo complain say ere ya de I say ha omeya bato ye pa say na wo call for say yenhwe the delegate system no eye no na manfo efi say time na delegate no eye kuma bi no na ne paka kra bi etimi ekomosho bobotom ene ti na ma party ni decide say ebetrem kakra ama delegate no ababedoso but still say atrem na sa manfo da so timi twia kese e dey pave way through that there is a challenge yenhwe so be your official petition be to the national party na.
Well, first of all, some of us, you know, so you always say to be an sample size in those one. You get the best results. You get quality results.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, say, any per to about bring 515 to about. I think that for me, I still hold the view that I was here my all card bearing members in good standing. Then you have 2 assembly members for Abano. You got to because it's hard here in the year. Yeah, I tell you, the development will be about the people at the base. Not individual delegate pockets, and you're best satisfied. And it is worrying. I'm telling you, Oba Brema, Ubi Aboto, Ubi are happy. You really include me in any.
Nice, I know Ompe a year chas redu.
Oh, so I'm telling you, if you send your reporters here, they'll tell you. But for me, I deal with a party system.
Okay.
Internal party arrangement, and I produce such results. It's moving forward, you know. Obi has a mistake what I grow now, you know. So I say, and for me, what's the result now? But near a hard journey say, they say, we are branch here, we are Baba, what our party more. Na one go pesika. A was so unfair, forget it. Forget it. Forget it. That is why I use the word excessive monetization. What does the vote know? It's the MP no also know. It tells you say if the sample size and can lose one, you will need to be over sending the part to about 18,000, 20,000 one premium.
Okay.
So when you now a card bearing members and NPP will be 15, 20,000 card bearing members in good standing there to about we are. I tell you, wow, that's so form. Una be winning. But I say the other idea. Is it no say delegate system yet now then it's here. Forget about the people at the beach, travel out, just go or not even out for you find a way of getting money and come.
All right, so Frank Bekumamenda, for your time. I'm sure this conversation will continue. The end bit here quite worrying, but we'll continue with the conversation. Just in press release of the purported declaration of Honorable Umar Farouk Aliyu Mahama as the parliamentary candidate elect for the Yendi constituency by the 3rd National Vice Chairman of the New Patriotic Party, Alhaji Masaudu Osman. And I read, our attention has been drawn to a video circulating on social media which captures the 3rd National Vice Chairperson of the NPP declaring Farouk Aliyu Mahama as the parliamentary candidate-elect for the Yendi constituency after the Saturday, January 27, 2024 parliamentary primaries were disrupted. We want to state the following facts. 1. Counting of ballot papers in the 2024 Yendi parliamentary elections was profoundly and fiercely interrupted and halted due to a deliberate attempt by some Electoral Commission officials to manipulate the figures and overturn the verdict in favor of the incumbent MP, Farouk Aliyu Mahama. The Electoral Commission officials, whether by miscalculation or by design, during the counting of the ballot papers in the full glare of party supporters, jumped the count from 69 straight to 80, which was his first attempt to increase the votes of our opponent by 10 more. As if that was not enough, they were also caught by vigilant agents and other observers for fraudulently destroying and even concealing some of the ballot papers belonging to Hajia Abibata in his jacket. The male violent actions of the EC officials quickly provoked violent attacks from some party supporters who ended up destroying the ballot papers. It took the swift intervention of the police present to protect the EC officials, and both aspirants were advised by the security to move from the scene. The election can therefore not be declared without the aspirants or our assigned agents. The purported declaration made by the third national vice chairman is illegitimate and should be disregarded. The situation remains under review. The NPP as a party is committed to due process, emphasizes the importance of legal and procedural oversight in determining the legitimacy of such declaration. A formal petition will be sent to the relevant stakeholders to deal with it. While we appreciate the passion and commitment of our party members, we urge all stakeholders to respect established party structures and refrain from making premature pronouncements until an official decision is reached. The New Patriotic Party reaffirms its commitment to fairness, transparency, and adherence to democratic principles. We assure our members and the public that the party leadership will take actions. As we work diligently to address this matter, we call for calm and patience among our party members. Further updates on the situation will be communicated as soon as official information becomes available. So on your screen, Anna who say any money be a course so no ye sa info editor where the course into era Farouk utie krata babontia clearly the one can say enya dia one edge eye abato na akoso etumo no because omadwene ni adanse omode ba na chese na electoral commission for mpanyfo ni bikwa no wona na montu a wona woni tu no na nya dia eye papa kra. So as we are wrapping up, your last words of and call for us simi wa baka bima
Oris Martin say go so na party mpanyfo so ase we a few skirmishes be AC so some constituencies be generally peaceful and they be so nya the shock of their life thinking say no bet me atrank
many pan you know and Mamino Eastern region, you know, Deputy Minister, even say,
Amapoma,
there be Bakubisu.
There
be no back, maybe say Brinty. Also, Eastern region, baby, na Pelgrive, also.
Deputy Education Minister.
Yes, also, almost really good from Anna.
Give
and some other surprises.
Yes, but so far, Eastern Emma best a 5 and 7 and 2 penny to miss through.
Okay. On that note, Yadibesian and Zenema wish the Transport Minister Kwekwe Mama Yakoson Kokra, Yeka said the new about Madame Agnes Pokuya, Dodona friend Akosia Pokuya, Edda, a year from Radiator, San Fernami Adama, now we ewo danger dominance and ebekwa kopend the crabia. Mede akwasinsia
so mede o ma hine kwabena asante.
Onyame aduma ebi shiachima.